Good, I'm good. What's your name?
Adrian,
Adrian. Thank you for pulling up, dog. I appreciate the time.
no problem. Appreciate the offer, man.
Hey, it's my pleasure. All right, let's start somewhere, bro. Introduce yourself. Where you from? What you
Well,
do?
I'm originally from New York. I live in Atlanta right now. I'm an artist. I'm a designer. I do graphic designs as well. Not traditional, but I figured out a way that works for me. So
Okay. How'd you
yeah.
start? Like, what brought you into this scene?
And honestly, I've been doing this for a while. I'm not gonna lie. I've been doing this for like I want to say almost at least 8 years. But
Like,
with having like
specifically, like clothing and shit too?
yeah, like I started like my brand Catastrophe and I want to say like 2012, 2013.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, but I had a regular job. I was working on like my regular job. Everything was getting pushed to the side. So it was like, it wasn't consistent. So like around 2017, that's when I picked up again and I, started putting that first again.
Uh-huh.
And, started being more consistent, starting to build like my niche clientele. So that's pretty much when I started to getting results that I wanted.
I have a question, bro. So in
Yeah.
2012, when you created your brand, was it still custom clothing? Were you still painting on shit?
No, I just started the painting on stuff, the one-on-ones. Like I just really figured out like how to do that. Like I'm not gonna lie, like 2017.
Okay, because
Like,
if you had done it in 2012, you would have been probably one of the first people to ever
yeah,
do
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I was
it. Like,
like,
fuck, bro, that's mad.
yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was doing custom stuff, but it was like it wasn't like unique one-on-ones like how I'm doing right now with the hand. Like this is right here. This is just a paint shirt. Like this is just a throwaway, but it's still
Mhm.
like, everything is kind of hand painted.
Which
But
I
yeah,
think, it's, I mean, not only it's what works right now, everyone's kind of really enjoying that uniqueness of clothing and kind of
yeah,
being able to purchase a piece and be the only one to own that piece, which I think is impressive, bro, because it's like you're an artist, like when you
yeah,
start painting on shit, like it's like just as good as a painting, bro. Just people can wear
yeah,
that.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it takes the same amount of time. That's what I try to like,
It's even harder.
convey.
Like the canvas is much harder.
Yeah.
Like painting on
Yeah.
fabric is much more complicated than painting on a
Exactly. Because
canvas.
it moves around a little bit more. Like
Exactly.
it's a whole process. Yeah.
So what made you change in 2017? What was the drive?
Honestly, like I'm not gonna lie, I stumbled upon Resurrected by Night, the
Oh,
brand.
fuck yeah. OG.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, yeah, that guy is dope. Like honestly, I reached out to him, he had some good advice for me, like uh but he used to do lives where he
Mhm.
used to just draw on the actual clothing. And I started out like in high school airbrushing. So I'm used to, doing stuff on clothes, but I never seen somebody take like a marker to
Uh-huh.
like an article of clothing and like really make something good.
Uh-huh.
Like really make like drawing like he was drawing on paper.
Hmm.
So I tried it a few times and honestly it actually started like coming out good. And I'm not gonna lie, like every time I pick up the marker or the paintbrush to the clothing, like it gets better every time. Like every time you do it, like you
Hmm.
get better. You get more insight. You know how to like the fabric works. Like, you
Absolutely.
can marry the stuff together. Like it's
Absolutely.
pretty dope.
And where does your inspiration comes for your characters?
Honestly, like I'm inspired by a lot of Japanese traditional culture. Yeah, tattoos. Um, it's a lot of stuff. I like boxier fit stuff, so I try to get boxier stuff. What else? Let's see, The Matrix. um, it's everywhere. Like it's a catastrophe. Like it's just
I
like
like
a
the name. That's
yeah,
interesting because I mean it is kind of like a doomed name with
yeah,
catastrophe.
yeah. It's kind of like it's a little dark. It's like it's supposed to be like the state of things right now.
Mhm.
And remember, I made this like almost 10 years ago. So
You started
it,
2012. You knew it was
yeah,
gonna be this.
yeah,
Yeah, you knew
yeah,
it was about to all end up in fucking prison sometime. No, but you're right. It is kind of a bad time for life. But I mean, we're still the beautiful thing is that there's still people like you and a lot of other people
yeah,
that are flourishing, bro.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just gotta stay with it. You know, it's everything dark, you know, it's beauty that comes from it, you know. You
Exactly.
just gotta look at it like that, like,
Absolutely.
you know, kind of roll with the punches.
Absolutely. And I mean, dude, I think not even dark, you gotta be somewhat realistic, you know, and I think, okay, maybe not everything's a catastrophe, but it's kind of the way that you see it. But like,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm willing to agree with you, bro. I think it's pretty fucked up times for the majority of the world,
yeah, exactly.
you know?
Yeah,
I think
that's
not
just
a
how
lot
it
of
is.
people, yeah, it's how it is. Not a lot of
Yeah,
people spend the time and like, okay, I want to paint on clothes. I want to do something that I'm passionate about and promote that. A lot of people just get lost in the system and, you know,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
so that's kind of what we're fighting here. So how's Atlanta? How's living in ATL?
You know, it's not bad. Like the weather's pretty nice, you know, can't complain.
Is it
I
cold
live
out
kind
there?
of, what was that?
Is it cold out there?
It's like 50-ish,
Okay,
you
that's not.
know, probably cold to you because you live in Los Angeles. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I'm like 50-ish. Yeah, facts.
Yeah, but you know, it's pretty decent. You know, I live like on the outskirts, so it's a lot quieter than the city, so to speak, of
Mhm.
it. But I like it honestly. It's nice, chill. I got time to focus on like my craft. You
Mhm.
know, cost of living is not super crazy where you have to have like 10 million jobs. Like you get one good job, and like I do the painting and everything. I do that full time, so pretty much, and then I work like a part time job like on the weekends.
Okay,
So you know, it works out. You
that,
know,
that's cool, bro. I mean, I think all the people that I talk to, I'm like, bro, if you can make it work and you can do something that you love and something that you can keep getting better at too, bro. Like, and you're building a portfolio, you know, like at the end of the day,
yeah, exactly.
if you go 3 years of doing this shit, bro, like you'll build such a huge portfolio of stuff that you've made and you've only gotten better and better and better. Like
Yeah,
it's just a matter of time at that point
yeah, exactly.
to kind of put the eyes on you. Um, so do you like living kind of like on the outskirts? Like how's that being kind of a more calm lifestyle?
Honestly, I like it, but you know, you gotta do like to find other creatives, you gotta kind of be in the loop now since you're so far out.
Mhm.
So that's just a whole nother thing, you know, politics as usual.
Mhm.
But you know, what you know, when you find like the right person, you can click. Like I've met a few creatives out here, you know, that I've either took under my wing and now they're doing their own thing, or you know, the opposite. Like they, you know, showed me a little something, and you know, I showed them how to do something else. But yeah, honestly, like as far as the painting style that I do, like I'm probably like the only person I know that's really doing it here,
Mhm.
like that style. But it's people that do like a lot of stuff. It's like a lot of it's a big hub for like creatives out here now, like, and it's just growing even bigger.
That's sick. That's very true, actually. ATL is it's pretty out there for music, art,
Yeah, exactly.
pretty influential. So it's a good spot to be without a doubt. Um, and as you said, I think the prices are much more reasonable than anywhere here. Like in LA,
Yeah.
bro. Fuck it, this is not my full-time job. I work a full-time corporate job and I'm literally living paycheck by paycheck, bro. Like I can't say
Yeah,
this.
no, yeah, like you pay for that atmosphere.
I hate it, bro. No, but the thing, I'm a social person, but like fuck, bro. Like I mean, I get really specific with the people I want to hang out to. So in LA, it's
Yeah.
just too much. You get really overloaded of like all these people that want to do stuff. Let's do that. Like I do
Yeah.
this. I'm like, fuck, bro. I do this. It's,
Yeah, then you know you're pushing the culture forward as well. So you know
I
you
try.
got that to worry about.
No, exactly. I try, but I make clothes too. Like I mean, I started making rugs a while ago. I actually know a
Yeah,
guy.
I've seen that rug that you just posted.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Man, that shit is sick,
I
yo.
appreciate that.
Like,
But I've got this guy that makes rugs out there in ATL as well. I should tap you in. He's a creative
oh
guy
yeah,
in the studio.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um.
appreciate that.
So I had a question.
Yeah,
So you like the Matrix and everything? What do you like about the Matrix, bro? Because I actually saw the new one recently.
yeah. You didn't like it?
Well, I thought it was honestly, dude. I saw the trilogy like so long ago, and then I watched that one. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was trying.
Yeah, it was like a 360. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like honestly, like I like the fact that like the Matrix itself, like you can. I feel like honestly, sometimes I'm in like a time like a loop, like I'm doing the same thing over and over and over, and it's like honestly, like you can't, you know, like you're playing a game, you
Mhm.
can only do certain things, like it won't allow you to do this or that because you're stuck in just that little the little game frame that you're in. Like
Mhm.
I feel like that's somewhat true, but it's all in our heads because you know once you're able to unlock your true potential, then you can fly and shit. Like, so that's what I like
So,
about
so,
space.
so for you, it makes sense. Like that idea that we might be in some sort of simulation, or not necessarily simulation, but like something that has some sort of restrictions and like so.
Yeah, it's
So
like a mental prison.
okay, but where does that bring fate then? What?
Honestly, it's only one way to go. Like, it's gonna get bad, and then like I'm not saying that it's gonna be like the one, but like people are gonna start to wake up to everything, and then that's when it'll be over, and that's when it's gonna get better. That's when it's gonna like regrow.
Interesting.
So it's inevitable, but it's a part of the process.
I,
That's what I think. Yeah.
I respect that, but I mean, I don't know. I can't deny it or I can't agree with it. It's the type of thing where like it's the real. It's like
Yeah.
your brain in a vat. I could be a brain in a vat right now, and I could just be
Yeah.
talking to myself. And like, I don't know. But it feels so fucking real. That's the crazy part of it.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. It's an interesting fact, that one.
Yeah.
But I do agree to the fact that I think now, hopefully, because it's funny, there's like some people that are just, I think, are being completely lost in translation, and there's a few people that are kind of realizing,
Yeah. Yeah. They awakening.
exactly. But it's always like a minority, right? Like
Yeah.
you would want this to be like everyone and everything, but it kind of always tends to accumulate just in one specific. And I think art is like a beautiful place for that to flourish.
Exactly. Yeah. And then you could kind of like, once one person is awakened, then you can start to, wake other people up. That's how it works. It's like a domino effect almost. You give somebody a piece, and then, they show their friends the piece. Now, everybody's getting intuitive. So
Yeah, I like that. I like
yeah.
that. I think that's the best that we can do, essentially. That's what I always say. They're like, oh, but I don't know, bro. Like, I'm not that I'm 100% into conspiracies, but bro, like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty up there. I just distrust everything, bro. At this point, I swear to God, if I don't see it with my two eyes, bro, like I will not believe you.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way.
So I don't know. I've been since I was a child, but so now like I think that's the best. People are like, oh, but okay, you believe in all these things, okay, but what the fuck can we do?
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm like, this is exactly what we can do. Like
Yeah.
talk about it, share it and
Yeah, discuss it, make it real.
create those discussions.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's definitely very sus time for conspiracy theorists.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, no, it's hilarious, but it's so sad at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the dark. It's a rabbit hole, bro. Conspiracy theories.
Yeah, exactly. How deep does it really go?
You're so right. Fucking. But yeah, no, actually, so I really like that movie. I think those guys they're pretty smart. The Wachowski brothers. What are their names?
Oh yeah, the
Wachowski brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good shit.
Yeah, they're dope. Yeah, I like their stuff. Yeah, they did
Was
the thing on it.
there ever a book or something that was written through the Matrix, or what was it?
I don't know. It's like loosely based on a book or a manuscript, and then they kind of had to add stuff. You seen Ghost in the Shell, the anime?
Yeah.
They pull from that. Like they pull from a lot of different genres of everything, and then they kind of combined, created something new out of it. So pretty dope.
It's good. No, it's a good ass thing. What else intrigues you then? What else drives you? Because I love to do these interviews. Like we talk about the art, this and that, but I want to hear about you. Like at the same time, I think that's just as important.
Yeah, I like music. I'm into music. Like as a listener, I don't like produce or anything like that. But I love music. So I love different instruments, the sounds, different compositions. Like I'm a big hip hop head, like classic hip hop. I like funk, the classic OG funk. I like what else? I like a little bit of rock. I'm not gonna say I'm like too crazy in depth, but I like some of the classic rock bands like let's see. I mean, I'm a big not Green Day, but Oasis.
Okay.
I like the Kings of Leon. Um, Red Hot Chili Peppers, obviously. Who else? Jimi Hendrix.
Okay.
Just the
You
classics.
got a big repertoire here, bro. I like it.
Yeah. But right now I'm like into like the like as far as hip hop, I like the classic stuff, obviously. Like I'm a pure hip hop boom bap, New York rap head. So I like Griselda, you
Mhm.
know. West Side Gun is actually he's like a curator and he like art collector and all that. So you hear it in his music, like he raps about like different like the Art Basel, or he just had a pop up there at last year, I think. Yeah. So you know, I like that stuff. I like the classic Jay-Z, you know,
Mhm.
Reasonable Doubt era. No, all eras. I'm not gonna lie. I like all eras of Jay-Z. Even now, even the stuff he puts out now. Tyler the Creator.
Okay, bro,
That's my
you
guy.
go all over. I love that.
Yeah.
It's good never to stick to kind of one genre because I think there's so much good stuff out there,
Yeah,
especially
exactly.
um that you kind of have to tap into it and see it for yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, that's sick, bro. Fire. I think that makes sense. But you never tried to make music yourself. You never tried to.
Honestly, like it's a thought in my head. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna like every time I listen to a song, like I get inspired. Like I could possibly do this. Like as
On
far as
the writing
production,
sense, or like, did you enjoy kind of the writing aspect of music, or like,
honestly, I do. I like the I think I can write a song. Like my voice is kind of trash, so I'm not gonna say I can sing it.
now it's
But
all good though. Like now
yeah,
you can make it work no matter how.
yeah, I could do like a Steve Lacy type of thing, like you know, or I could like pitch correct it or something, like you know, like I didn't completely dismiss the idea of doing music, honestly, because
Mhm.
I got so many good ideas, like even with the Matrix and all that, I have so many good like movie ideas, like it's
No,
just like yeah.
I was watching, dude. Like honestly, I was watching some like this guy called Dennis Hopper. I watched one of his movies, like these old movies that he made, bro. But these guys, like being like a director and like directing a movie, bro. Like it just encapsulates so much knowledge into one thing.
Yeah,
Like you're
yeah,
like you have to do every. You're like the puppeteer essentially.
yeah. You have to, yeah, exactly. You have to put all the pieces together. It's a
Everything
bunch of moving parts, and you gotta be the one that makes something out of it. Yeah,
exactly.
that's
And the
dope.
crazy part about the good directors are the ones that they act in their own movies.
Yeah,
They direct themselves. They
yeah,
put themselves as the best cast, bro. And like it's crazy.
yeah.
But, that's very impressive.
That's true.
So, what type of idea for a movie have you ever?
Man, I've had crazy ideas. Like I've had ideas about racing movies, like relay racing movies, like
Okay.
but you know, it's more in depth. Like it's too much to go into right now. But you know, that's
I
just
don't
the
want to. Someone might just see it tomorrow.
yeah.
A movie came out related. Fuck that. Yeah, no, I'm not
Yeah,
going to this
it
stuff.
sounds weird, but you know, I've had interdimensional ideas. Like you know, you fall into like a slightly different dimension than that you're in, so you don't really know until like little subtle things start happening that
Yeah,
wouldn't happen. And you know, just stuff like that, like some sci-fi type of you
yeah.
know.
And so is that something that you believe in as well? Like this potentially like multiple dimensional type of thing?
Honestly,
Hey, no cap,
when I was
honestly, whatever you tell
yeah
me, bro, I will not doubt you. As I said, but I could believe anything, bro. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say honestly, like I used to believe it a lot more than I do now.
mm,
But I believe it is a possibility that you know something like that could be going on. Like could be like layers of stuff, you know, like on top of us that we can't really see.
how
You
would
know,
that?
like
How does that work?
honestly, it's like you know, like they say, like the dimensions are like everything is just occupying the same space, but
Mm,
it's just like in a different. I want to say not yeah different time, so to
mhm.
speak. So it doesn't you we can't see it, but it's like on top of us happening, like you know, on a different frequency type of thing.
So, like, it's like everything. Every time you kind of make a decision, it kind of splits, like, and then
I
everything.
think it has to be like it has to be like a crazy like drastic you like to like split the fabric of time. It has to be something wild, like
Realistically, like anything I do or any decision that I make, even us having this conversation right now, like
yeah,
it ultimately has some sort of butterfly effect that like
yeah. No, you're right.
will be, made down the line. Like, we could have not talked today, and I would have had a different thought about this or a different thought about that, which ultimately would have affected something along the
Yeah,
line. So like, I do think I like there's the one test that they did, because now like physics in itself is like starting to kind of go into these things because they can
yeah,
start testing. Like there's the test where um like us humans, we really can kind of create our own realities based on the fact of the observer, because they did the test where like you can observe the light or like the electron, they shoot two electrons together, and then you can
yeah,
see it as a wave or as a particle, right? But it's just how you decide to do the experiment.
yeah. That
and
makes sense.
and the thing actually changes. So like that's like a proven fact, being the fact that with the apparatus that you have and the way that you observe something, it can be two things at once. So
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense
yeah,
based on the viewer,
exactly,
or the specific person.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. You
Yeah.
know, hypothetically speaking, you're the center of your own universe.
No, always. I think
Yeah,
everyone thinks that. I think we all think we're Neo. Like I swear to
yeah,
God.
exactly.
How did that go? Like,
Yeah, no, that's right.
it's funny how that is. Like we think we're the ones, but we're all the
Yeah.
ones.
Everyone's the one.
I swear, it's so funny. And when you're a child, I think you really believe that shit.
Yeah, definitely. That's probably when it's most true, honestly.
It's true.
Yeah, it's like, untampered with ideas,
Mm,
untapped potential,
mm,
so that's probably when it's, like most prevalent in you. So,
mm-hmm. Being children, I agree. I think children speak the truth, bro. Children are the future. That's why we got to protect the children.
yeah, definitely.
Um, yeah, no, it's an interesting fact how we all live with these like kind of. I don't know if it's ego or whatnot, but not everyone. That's the crazy part. Like some people don't. Some people
Yeah,
just go,
some people just like, yeah, so like being just, oh yeah, this is how stuff is. We don't
hmm,
have any say in it. Like
hmm,
you go to work 9 to 5,
yeah.
5 days a week. That's how it is. Like, if you're doing something outside of that, they're looking at you like,
Like
yeah,
you're the kook.
yeah, like you're wasting your time.
Wow. It's
Yeah,
that I keep, bro. It's a subject I keep coming back to because it just mesmerizes me.
yeah. Some people are okay with that. Like,
Like, it's crazy. I mean, I think ignorance is a bliss, bro. So like, if you're happy with that shit, and then
yeah,
really you're truly happy, like fuck that, bro. That's amazing.
yeah.
'Cause
I
shit,
don't. Yeah, man. If you found a way to accept that and live your life happily, yeah, that's the cheat code right there. You won.
maybe, maybe,
Like you won. I definitely wish I could do that.
yeah,
You
because it's
know.
much harder for us realistically. Like, if
Yeah,
you want to, like, I think we're constantly dissatisfied.
yeah,
Uh,
definitely. It's
we
a
always want
struggle.
to kind of go bigger, go greater, and then I don't,
Exactly.
I don't know. I think what's interesting to that is like, do you think that our emotions or their emotions are lesser than each other?
I think it's just like you said earlier, it's like perception. So like honestly, I kind of envy like if you could just do like the basic stuff in life and be okay with it, like like I said, that's a cheat code. Like because even like me now, I'm just like I gotta do more. I gotta get bigger. Like
Mm,
I gotta reach wider, broader audiences. Like
mm,
I gotta show somebody this. Like it's always something, or I could have did better on that. Or it's a lot of stuff I scrap, like not as far as actual clothing, because I don't scrap any clothing. Like I
mm,
can not save it, but I can make it to what it was supposed to be. So there's no mistakes. But as far as ideas, like I scrap a lot of ideas. Like I have like a bunch of like graphics on my computer that I never see the light of day. Like it's just they're just there. Like because to me it wasn't good enough. So
mhm.
start from square one.
I respect that. And I agree to that. I think you're right. It sucks. It sucks that we're not. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
good thing or a bad thing. I don't know however you want to take it, but like at the same time, that's why I was asking like the emotions in himself. It's true. It's probably based on perception, but like something must be different, right? Like uh,
yeah,
creating something and achieving that what you're what you want for that creation, like doing something and then achieving it, bro, like to that level,
yeah,
have a sort of objective feeling that can only be achieved through that.
yeah. Exactly. It has to be.
So
It's real specific.
So
Yeah,
like just doing what you're told and following up, and even if you're going up some like corporate echelons, like I don't know if those emotions are similar, if that makes sense.
yeah, it's kind of like two different colors on the color palette. Like it's like red and yellow. Like it's just two different things.
It's true, no, it's true. But one color is probably brighter. I don't know. I,
Yeah,
I just want to do it because it's like it's too much work for it to think that I'm like, fuck, it's a lot of work.
yeah, it is.
Hmm.
Somebody will do a study on it eventually.
Yeah, I hope so. But no, I think about that a lot because I don't even know where it comes from, where that drive. I don't know if it's, from when you're a child or people that
Yeah,
you.
honestly, like you see it in a lot of like previous generations. Like they're like kind of like conditioned to be like, all right, everything is this way.
Mm,
Like even like you see like older people, like they're still like that. And like I think like my generation, I was born in '92, so
mhm.
it's like the opposite. Like we're like the generation like goes out of the country, quits jobs like off like the first mistake, like, oh yeah, this I didn't like that. I'm leaving. Like
That's
just with like lack of lack of awareness of as far as consequence, because it's really you can get another job. So
mm,
it's not really consequence. You just, they were conditioned before previous generations, like, yeah, you need this job. You need to build your life around a job and, white picket fence, this, that, and the third. When now we're like, it's more, I want to say, don't want to say liberated, but it's more free. It's more open,
mm.
especially with like the generations after, they're like completely different. Like it's like, they're not even trying to work a job. Like they're just going, they're just
So
going straight to like, building stuff. Like,
that's right.
it's just getting more and more free and more open, like as time goes on. So
That's true. But that's true. Find it interesting because, bro, like, there's no way that because that is something that's humane, right? Like, okay, the traditions and this and that, fine, but like back in the days, there were still the hippies, still
yeah,
the rebels,
exactly.
the
Yeah,
punks. Those guys were
yeah,
against everything. They hated shit, dude,
yeah,
So,
yeah.
so I think there was
No,
also
yeah,
that that separation between, like, I really do see it as a separation between beings. Like, I think
yeah,
it's too, like, I mean, not that we can't coexist and we can't live well together, because you always need one and the other. You need the creator and the people that kind of make it run, right? Like
yeah, exactly. You need both to make it work. It's like a balance. Yeah.
exactly. So
So it's like a perfect balance almost. Like you need those really straightforward people, those, all about business people. Then
mm,
you need people that's, a little more free, a little more
mhm,
creative, a little more
absolutely,
innovative. Like
absolutely.
ingenuity like plays a big role in the everyday to day task. So you kind of need both of them, like
Mhm.
for the world to run as it is now.
No,
No.
I love those guys that invented, I don't know, the Advil and all that other shit. Like, I don't know,
Yeah, exactly.
make that shit run. Like, invented the cars. I don't know, good for them, bro, fucking geniuses. But like, but even there, like, I think there's some innovation into that too. Like, probably, geniuses or just geniuses.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know
exactly.
how they come out. Like, those guys impress me all the time. Like some Albert Einsteins and Nikola Teslas and all these guys, bro. Like,
Yeah, I think it's like a anomaly. Like,
it is. I think it's like a genetic anomaly. But so that
yeah,
just means that it is genetic,
yeah,
right?
exactly. It definitely is.
Or
Like,
maybe just genetic and everything kind of just hit perfectly.
perfectly, yeah. Like there's
Like,
like the sweet
yeah,
spot.
like the parents, like the way they were raised, this and that, like everything kind of just was
Yeah,
and encapsulated to nurture
yeah.
the genius, right? Yeah.
No, yeah, that makes sense.
See, but that can't be fate to me. Like, that to me has to be, it's scripted, bro. It's written like for that. It's just like fuck
Yeah,
that, you know.
no, yeah, definitely. Like it didn't happen by, well, it happened like it's like a 1 in a million chance.
Mm,
But like if you're that one, then you're the genius. Like it's not like, oh yeah, it's fate picked you. You just happen to fall on that number. Like
true.
you hit the sweet spot where you boom, you're a genius.
That's when you got hella responsibilities, though. So it's like
Yeah,
it's kind of a give or take too. Like the people that can just feel content with like doing stuff and not necessarily like wanting to create or whatever, but like they have such a lack of responsibility towards like others that
Yeah,
a genius a genius has to feel the guilt of like knowing
yeah,
that he doesn't succeed. He's left 7 billion people to strive like to, you know.
yeah.
So
Yeah, but it's also like, some sociopaths out there where, using your genius for just self gain, self preservation. Like, you're just trying to get ahead, and you're just like really outsmarting everybody around you. You're like the Wolf of Wall Street almost.
mm,
Like the people like that, like, because they're geniuses in their own right as well.
that's
You
true.
know,
I
they're
hadn't
just
thought about
using it for something completely different. Like,
those that don't give a fuck. They got no
yeah,
responsibility.
yeah, exactly.
It's just-
It's like, yeah, they really have like the Neo mindset, like, yeah, I am the one. Like,
That's true.
like, yeah, pass me the ball.
That's so facts. But you know what that makes me think? It's like those type of people, like even that, but like being a sociopath and like not feeling any sort of guilt, like how's like where does that come from? Like how is that
Yeah,
possible? Like
yeah,
no,
it's like no empathy. Like,
that's another cheat code, bro. Because if I do
yeah,
shit, bro, like I'll be in
yeah.
my bed like what the fuck, you know?
That's why they're usually like they get what they want out of life, because
Mm,
they don't care about the consequences of other people's feelings.
that's interesting.
Like nobody else really matters. Like,
That's a good point. That's a very good point. That's probably why the people on top tend to be these fucking sociopaths. Like,
yeah, you remember? I don't know if you watch Rick and Morty.
of course.
Remember they got like the bad parts of them taken out, and it was
Oh
like
yeah. These
like
guys
Morty
become
just
crazy, bro. That's so true.
he
That's,
like skyrocketed after that. Like he got everything he wanted.
that's true.
Like
But I don't know. And that's something another great thought because like like I've always think this is how I think about it. Like I don't think that there's like a good or bad path.
yeah,
There's kind of like the easy one and the right one, if that makes
yeah,
sense. I think there's
yeah,
like the
exactly.
right one and then there's like the easy one. And I always think that
Yeah,
people that don't give a fuck or like have no, I'm just like no not giving a fuck about the rest of the people. It's like those guys are kind of choosing the easy way out because
yeah.
that's like
You
such
skip, yeah,
shortcuts. It's like
yeah,
shortcuts. You don't have to go through like the illegible rightful way to go about things. They just fuck
yeah.
that.
And then they're like finding other shortcuts while in the shortcut. So they're like, cutting whatever the progress time in half,
Hmm.
and cutting that time in half. You know,
Absolutely.
so
It's
it
really
is
interesting,
a
actually.
cheat code in a sense.
A major cheat code, but like
Yeah,
that's when you got to realize the finish line, though, right?
yeah,
Like what happens on the finish line, bro? Like I don't know. Would you believe in heaven or hell? Is that something that you?
yeah. I believe in like heaven, like a paradise. I don't think I believe in hell as much, because it's like what could be worse than like what's going on right now? Like, maybe not here in the States, but
It's a
other
good.
places,
You're absolutely right. You're
yeah.
absolutely right.
So
We always think about it about our own personal. I mean, shit, bro, we're blessed by 1,000. Even to be able to
yeah, exactly.
have these conversations and be able to, I make carpets, you make clothes. Like, dude, dang,
Yeah,
like we're just us. We're like one in a million. Like one in a billion type.
definitely. Yeah,
So we don't
exactly.
we don't recall that enough. That's a great point, actually. And and yeah, but so then at the finish line, so what happens to the people that didn't do it right? That used all these. Like, what do they
you,
do?
you,
They can't come with me
you,
to matter it up. I don't want to
you
know.
get you probably get, like the participation trophy, and that's it, small one.
So like reincarnation, is that something that you think about at all?
Honestly, yeah, I've thought about that. I don't know if you've ever read the stories about how kids have like recollections or like past memories and stuff,
Hmm.
and, like, or how they died before. You know, I've like the rabbit hole, like you were saying earlier. Like I've went down that Reddit rabbit hole several times. Like it's just too much for my brain to process at the end of the day. So I kind of like let like whatever's supposed to happen, or whatever happens afterwards.
Hmm.
You know, like you'll see it then. It's,
it's kind of an exciting thing, I think, at the same time when you don't really know, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly. Like people like on the internet think they got it all figured out, like on
yeah,
both sides. Like,
fucking bastards.
yeah,
God damn.
it's like we don't know anything that happens. Like, do you know anybody that actually successfully died?
Yeah, no, it's
Because you don't. Because if they died and came back, they didn't successfully die. So they didn't really
true.
die. So we don't know anybody. Weren't able to talk. I mean, unless you're like into like what do you call it? Conjuring up spirits and stuff, and then you're talking
Are
to
you into that?
spirit. No.
That shit creeps me out, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't I've heard some weird, stories about like
Hey, give
even
me
like
a
the
good story, I beg.
like the Ouija board,
Yeah.
like apparently Bone Thugs and Harmony, like they were playing with the Ouija board and it acts like who was gonna die.
Mm.
Like and it gave them a family member. Then the family member actually ended up dying.
Oh no.
Yeah. So
Oh, no.
it was like, why would you guys even be,
It's like
playing with that?
see, it's like the bad juju. Like I want nothing
Yeah,
to do with that. Like I
yeah,
sure like I kind of do believe in spirits. I'm not gonna lie, but that shit creeps me out a bit. Like paranormal
yeah,
activity is
definitely.
one of the movies that scared me the most in my life, bro. Like I fucking trauma after that.
Yeah.
You just can't do anything against them. Like you're
Yeah,
powerless. Like at least a monster, I can try to shoot it, but these guys are just there,
yeah,
throwing you out of beds, and like that's terrifying to
yeah.
me.
They're just like there, but not there at the same time.
What do, bro? Like I'm bound to die. Like there's nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
You
but
just have to win with the spirits.
yeah, no, that
But
shit.
yeah, man.
Yeah, you definitely,
Yeah,
definitely something I don't fuck with because I like I do believe that my ancestors or like the people that have passed away, like kind of I don't know, I have a sense that they're not relatively gone to some extent. Like there's
they're
always
like guiding you through stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. But then you got like the, whatever things lingering, the evil
Yeah,
stuff, like the remnants of like, well, used to be a person. Like
exactly. And then there's like the good ones, which are my ancestors, and there's like the bad ones too that are probably somewhere out there trying to fuck with people.
yeah, exactly.
Um, but yeah, the thing that you said about reincarnation, I thought was really interesting because like those kids that do have those experiences, like how the fuck do you explain
Yeah,
that?
exactly. There's no explanation to it. Like it's just one of those things. Like it has to be some truth to it.
Like has to be.
Yeah. So yeah, it definitely has to be some truth to it.
Because there
'Cause
was one that wasn't like this boy or girl, I don't know, remember, that found the murder weapon and of like she got killed, like or
oh
she
yeah,
got killed in the past life, and then literally remembered where he got killed or she got
yeah,
killed, found the bones, found the murder weapon. I'm like, bro, how the
yeah,
fuck? Like, bro, what?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I read that one somewhere, and then they found the actual killer, and he killed himself.
exactly. Like, they found him, the guy's like,
Yeah.
fuck you, I got the one person I killed that came back to life to fucking like I thought
That's wild.
see, like how did you not believe that? There was this one, and I keep saying the story, but it sucks because I tried to actually find it. Like I know I've heard it somewhere. I don't know if it was on a YouTube video or someone
Yeah.
told me. But I know for a fact I've heard it, so I didn't imagine this. And but I can't find any. I tried to fact check this. I couldn't fact my.
It
No,
disappeared.
that was just a story that I say. But I think it was I don't know. It was an ancient population, so really back in the day. What they used to do to the dead that were close to dying, bro. What they would do, they would actually like if someone was like terminally ill or about to die, they would stab them in a specific location that would be like the death wound,
Yeah.
and then they would wait for this next generation of babies to come out and look for like the birthmarks on the next
Oh,
on the next generation of babies so they could kind of relate to tell them like okay this is what you did in your past life so let's keep improving this is what you did wrong and you keep going on from there to like this constant evolution.
that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah.
That's what I remember because it made sense but I don't know who it was or if it ever happened but it
No,
made
but I've heard like, the whole birthmark thing is, how you got killed in your past life
yeah
or how you just died,
you
So
have a
does it like if you don't have a birthmark, that means maybe you just got old.
yeah you just died of it. Not a bad
Yeah, exactly.
yeah no it's funny that's another interesting part like what the fuck are birthmarks.
Yeah.
I mean, so many questions, bro. Like these things could go on forever. Like these
Yeah,
conversations.
yeah, exactly. It's like a rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it, though. Like, what makes me wonder, bro, is like so many people are just not interested in this shit. Like, you
Yeah,
know, anything that comes out of like the 20th centuries, they're like, okay, this is where life started. This is where
yeah,
like everything makes sense. When we had like millions of years, and I do believe in millions of years. I don't think we were here for
no,
small.
definitely, yeah,
We've been here a long time, and it's crazy to just completely forget about it. Be like, oh, spirituality is not a thing, religion is
yeah.
not a thing, or whatever.
No, it's just it's a lot. There's a lot of theories out there. Like, you ever heard of the one like where it's like the original human population, like they just left.
Oh, they dipped.
Yeah, and we're just stuck with like the remnants. Like we're like the ones that didn't get taken. Like
I've never heard that.
that's why
What
we
is
can't
that?
explain like the pyramids and stuff. All that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's why we don't really we can't make sense of it because like
They
it was
just
like
dipped.
yeah they left.
Where do they go? They go to Mars or something?
I guess it's like a what is it? This is not the original planet as well. Like this is like a side quest. And
Mm,
I
interesting.
guess yeah, we're like the lower level of the same species. They just got left here.
Yeah, dude, and then with those stories, you can get into crazy ones. Like I heard, I don't know, bro. Like, and then there's like the reptilians and all that shit.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
sun,
the
the
different
sun,
races.
Tiamat, the because the one thing that's really interesting to me is like in all the religions that we've had on Earth, there's always this constant recollection towards the deluge. So this like
Yeah,
this like thing that happened where
yeah,
like it rained for like 7 days and 7 nights, whatever the fuck, and everyone died except like 2% of the people, like
yeah,
or 1% of the people, and it's like how do people not believe that? Like it's like
yeah,
every religion from anywhere in the world has said that this is something that occurred back in the day.
definitely. Yeah, they say it was like I don't know if you heard this theory, like it was like washing away, uh like Homo sapiens existed with like modern humans existed with like Neanderthals. We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like rapidly like crossbreeding.
No, really.
Yeah. And that was like a washing away of like the Neanderthals.
Oh, interesting.
yeah.
It's like it's a metaphor.
Yeah. It was
Interesting.
like tampering with like,
Genes.
yeah, exactly.
That's like the whole tree of life too. It's like the tree of DNA and this and
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
No, the story I heard was this, bro. It's like this is the story I heard. This is complete bullshit. It's this guy called Michael Sarian that says it. Like it's like the destruction of Atlantis. Essentially, it's like in this video, like a 42 an hour and a half or 2 hour like video where he talks, and he says
Yeah.
that there's like these guys, these he calls them the sons of the serpent essentially. And they're like these extraterrestrials that were actually chased away from their planet. And
Yeah.
back in the day, the Earth used to be very raucous. It didn't have water. Okay, so it was like a lot of terrain, a lot of like deep tunnels that you could hide in type of situation. So these guys were being chased by like this intergalactic whatever the fuck, and so they came
Yeah.
to our like Milky Way, and they found the planet Earth that was inhabitable, that had some sort of like beings on it, but didn't necessarily like it wasn't very easy. Like it wasn't a flat place where you could they could go inside the core, this and that, right? And that's why
Yeah.
there's tunnels that go really deep, deep, deep down into the earth now
Yeah.
that we're discovering. And and the story is that there was this other planet, which is like where the asteroid belt used to be, and this planet was called Tiamat, and it was a planet of water. And what they did is that they put their beacons on this planet of water, and then they hid on Earth. And when these intergalactic guys came, they just came and blew the fuck up out of Tiamat. They're like, I don't give a fuck, I'm blowing that up. And that's why like literally the Earth got covered with water. It pretty much killed 90%
Water.
of the water because this planet just expanded and it went pretty much everywhere. And this asteroid belt
That
essentially
makes sense.
is ice. It's like ice that has been frozen in space. And like there are some stories. I don't know if you ever heard this. Some stories sometimes where like there's fish that fucking fall from the sky.
Yeah.
Like people
Like
say
it
that
rains fish. Yeah.
it rains fish. People say that it's from like tornadoes that get the water and then bring it up and then bring it. But what
Yeah.
he says, it's like that's when we get too close to the asteroid belt and we literally get close enough so we bring in some of the asteroid belt and it just melts coming down. And it's like these fish because on so essentially all the fish were like from this other planet. And then he
That
goes,
makes sense
bro, I read it. I was like, oh, you grew onto something, buddy.
though.
And then he goes into like the whole Atlantis situation. It was like these guys needed when they wanted to repopulate, they started tampering with the genes of the humans and
Yeah.
creating kind of like these subhumans, and then they gave kind of their they gave kind of their body to and this is like where I thought it was interesting because he puts like the story of like the serpent, right? Like in the Adam and Eve type of situation,
Yeah.
uh, the serpent actually, in his interpretation, is like the original people that they mated with, and they gave some of their genes, some of their kind of extraterrestrial godly genes to these humans.
Yeah.
These humans were like, "Fuck you, motherfucker! I'm not trying to be your slave," and so they just
Yeah.
gave their pose, and so that's where they created Atlantis. And this, and I'm gonna send you the link because it's a long ass story, but it's
Oh
relative.
yeah, got you. Now that sounds dope.
I like you're like, where the fuck do you come up with this shit?
No man, I'm into that stuff too. Like the like the aquatic ape theory,
What is that
where
one? I love
it's like
it.
pretty much it's like, all right, so the beginning stages of humanity, like still primitive. Like some of us resided to like the trees, and some
Mm,
of us like, was fishing on like edges of like rocks, like
mm.
and then started swimming. And then like how like they say like the wolf and the dolphin have the same ancestor, pretty
Really? I
much.
didn't know that.
Yeah, it's pretty much it's the same theory like that. Like so it's like a humanoid like that's really
Interesting.
down in the depths of the ocean, like
Like living down there.
yeah, like living that. It's a whole like it was a whole series kind of on I want to say Discovery Channel or
Interesting.
Animal Planet. Yeah, I got it's on YouTube. I'll show it to you.
I think I'll send it over. That's
Yeah.
interesting. But like I could, that's how fucking cuckoo I am. I could believe that shit. Like no joke. Like,
Yeah.
Michael Sarian, bro. Like when I listened to it for the next like 4 or 5 months, I was like, okay, this is it. This is how it happens. We're all coming from. It's like, like it's cool. It's cool to be able to be open-minded like that, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. You
Yeah,
know?
just everything is not set in stone as
No.
far as what I know, like for a fact, like we're missing chunks and chunks of what went on. Like, so it's like we can't just say, all right, this is what happened up until here, and now this is what happened, and now we can't say that because it's like chunks and chunks of everything missing. Like we
Mhm.
don't even have any, proof of like I said, like the pyramids. We don't even know how they got there. Like
Absolutely.
the theories are so stupid on how they got there.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that's true. Like 1,000 million slaves just
yeah,
bringing blocks of fucking granite,
yeah,
bro,
like
that were not only that, but they're like miles and miles away. And they're specific. I mean, I saw even things on the paper
exactly.
where like they said that they conducted energy. Like it was like they're like
Yeah,
electric batteries because the Nile was flowing through them, and they would have like these huge conductors and these huge things. And
exactly.
the rock itself is like it's made in a specific it's like a rock that can do electrostatic some shit like that, and then the top
Yeah,
was like core was like it was made out of gold, so a huge conductor, and then they had all these
exactly.
other obelisks that could be like kind of the receptors. I mean, some crazy shit.
Yeah, no, and then like it's apparently it can't hold flame. Like it's
Really
like so they couldn't bring fire inside there to see it. So how did they,
interesting.
yeah. So
Yeah,
so they
that's
had to have actual lights or something inside of there. Like,
interesting.
yeah. So
It's funny because in the pictures and shit, they always show like these little torches or like inside. They're like,
yeah, yeah,
"This is
and
how it's good."
yeah, it wouldn't have been able to happen.
That's
Yeah.
that's I have to go check that now. But
It's dope.
I don't know what I was gonna say, but yeah, no, and it's funny because like the actual stories that we believe, they're pretty crazy too. Like
Yeah.
Darwinism, to think that it goes from like a fucking little fish, then it evolves all the way
Yeah.
to like that's pretty cuckoo. Like it's
Yeah.
not like it's like completely like makes sense. Like you gotta
Yeah.
like
It's just like, oh yeah, whoever like, in the world of science, it's like whoever's more I guess in tune with what's going on right now, they'll accept those theories. And then ones that's too far left, they'll like try to debunk those theories, like they're fake, and then end up years later going back to the same theories that was like, deemed as, fake or, pseudoscience or whatever it is. And it ended up making sense and being real. But it's just like, it's politics with everything, unfortunately. So you,
it's extreme political, and I think that's crazy because like there's so many really really smart people that kind of put themselves in a position where they ruin their careers just because they said what they found out. Like
yeah,
I think there's one lady that found human bones that were like 8, 10 million years old, and she's like, "Well, you explained to me this, Darwin," and you're like, "Oh." Like, I can't
Yeah.
explain that. Debunked. Gone. She
Yeah.
lost her job, like got no ratification from her university, lost that position, and now she's just claimed as a kook. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you have to believe that, you know, like the tiny dwarf bones they're finding like in the it's like South America possibly, but it's just like a little, you know, like you know, you've seen Lord of the Rings, like the hobbits.
Yeah.
Like it's supposed to be like like they're finding like bones, like it's not as of a kid, it's like of a like a full grown humanoid species. Like, yeah, and then you know, they find the giant bones.
There's giants too. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
heard as soon as a giant bone gets found in like Latin America or like in South America, but there's like these huge university corporations that just go in and just buy everything.
yeah.
Just buy everything, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
and then they're just getting taller, like 15 foot, like
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I
it's
saw the
crazy.
pictures of it too. Unexplainable.
Yeah, exactly. Like we can't say one thing is real and then the
Yeah.
other one is not. Like because it's so much stuff that like I said, it's chunks and chunks of everything missing. Like
But even the dinosaurs, you know, what this guy, what Michael Sarin says about the dinosaurs, he says that when they started fucking the humans were too in touch, and so they started doing the same thing with other mammals that were on Earth, and that's why these crazy ass fucking weird ass reptiles pulled up because they're like, okay, we're gonna try to use them as slaves or whatever, and that's
yeah.
when dinosaurs came out, is because, and then they completely got obliterated because they were useless, like
Oh
fucking.
yeah. No, you know what I heard about like the whole thing, like so the dinosaurs were here like an ancient species, right?
Uh-huh.
So pretty much they evolved until what we know as the reptilians. Like
Mhm.
so they did evolve, so they didn't turn into birds or whatever, or some of them probably did, but
Mhm.
and then they said uh extraterrestrials came and they tampered with like the primitive ape like beings here, and that's
Mhm.
how the humans like kind of caught up, but they were still like uncivilized. So they're like every time you see like a UFO, it's
Mhm.
like reptilians like coming from like the Earth's core or out of the ocean,
Mhm.
but it's not from outer space. They say it's from here, but they're just like
Mhm.
inside of the yeah,
Just
they're just
checking up on
inside
us.
of
They're like in Agartha. They're like in the core,
yeah, yeah,
living out,
exactly.
checking up on their fucking plebs.
Yeah, or they're like what do you say, like a part of the galactic federacy,
Yes, I
like
heard that too.
yeah.
I heard that. I know a guy that dude. It's like he's dead serious. This friend of mine, his name is Julian Boulard, bro. He's a legend because he's like at the age of 17, he just dipped France, bro. I used to live in France. He just dipped. He went to live in India. He went to live in Japan. He just like literally lives in no like lives like a nomad. Like he sleeps on the
It
streets.
just keep yeah.
Doesn't give a fuck, bro. And he met some like dead serious. Like well, he was like, Diego, like I met this guy, and he's like a smart ass intellectual person, like not a dummy, like not a kook, doesn't
Yeah.
do drugs, not an alcoholic. But he told me, bro, he swears it on all that he knows that is real. That he met a guy on the beach because he was told to go there, and this guy told him that he was in this intergalactic federation that is actually pretty much like handling the earth and letting it kind of go at its pace, and like they can't
Yeah.
really tamper with what's going on, this and that, but they just let it be. And so there is, I'm like, bro, like, sure. I'm like, sure.
Yeah. No, I believe it's something like that. They say like once we get to the point where
Mm,
we're advanced enough to join the Federation, then
mm,
that's when we'll know about it. But right now it's just like monitoring it, you
mm.
know. So I guess that if we decide to blow it up, they're just gonna let it happen.
Yeah, they should, but honestly, we're so fucking dumb.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean they've probably seen it before.
yeah,
Like
no, exactly. Like, oh, it could have been. They
yeah,
had the chance to make it, but fuck,
yeah.
fucking greed and selfishness. Because I think that's literally what it is. I think that's our damnation, bro. It's greed, and
Yeah, definitely.
it doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand how people can grow and like say all these things. "Oh, when I grow up, if I can make it, I can do these things." Like people just, and I wonder because I'm not in that position where like I can change the world today. But like I wonder if ever I get put into a position where like I am successful and I have the means to be able to make real change. I wonder if I'll go back on my word or not.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, it's already too late for them.
Exactly.
Time
Like,
to save myself.
I'm dipping, bro.
Yeah.
That's probably why they're doing this whole space shit, dude. They're trying to just leave us here.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty wild.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Yeah, bro. But this interview is gonna be hilarious, bro. I'm literally I put like a 15-minute interview on Instagram, bro. I'm just gonna do like little cuts of like all the shit. Have you heard about this? Have you heard about that? Have you heard? Because I post the whole interview on YouTube, so if people
Oh
want
no.
to watch it, they can.
Yeah.
But I put like a 15-minute like little video on Instagram. It's just gonna be us two just. Have you heard this? Have you heard that? It's gonna be funny.
Oh, that's hilarious. Just
Yeah.
bouncing around like.
Bro, I think we did everything. There wasn't. I don't know what else we could have joined into that one. I told you all
Exactly.
that I've heard. There's this one last thing, bro. Oh, wow, we could go forever. I don't even know. But there's this one guy, dude. It's this Angelo Bona, and I read a book from him. He's like this. He does like hypnosis,
Yeah.
aggressive hypnosis, and he does that to like help people that have trauma. So what he does is
Yeah.
pretty much puts them in hypnosis, and like his idea is like they kind of put themselves back in the situations that caused that trauma. And sometimes it can even, people tend to believe that is in their past lives. So some traumas, like, you know, how people are just kind of scared of the water, or people are scared of
Exactly.
all these different like kind of premeditated fears that they have, not premeditated, but like kind of encrusted into their own beings, come
Yeah.
from other. And so he did that a lot. He was like a very studious person, very serious, and like very scholar. So the way that he
Yeah.
went about it was extremely scholarly, like not thinking about like all the juju, this and that, just being like based on facts and what
Yeah.
helps and what doesn't help. And there was this one guy called Davide, and it's not his real name. He doesn't disclose his real name, but this random guy lived in his city and found one of his books in a library. And he goes to see him. He's like, bro, I'm interested in just doing me this hypnosis shit. Like, it looks cool.
Yeah.
Try it on me. Like, he's like, I'm not depressed. I'm chilling. No traumas. I'm just trying to get, get hypnosed. And this guy's like, okay, sure. I mean, you got to pay for the session. He's like, oh, sure, I'll pay for the session. He goes into it, bro, and he starts putting this kid into a trance. And this kid starts saying some crazy shit. So like he recorded all these things. So like he recorded, and the guy's voice changed, bro. And he was like he was like doing real fucking, like he was transferring a message from this guy that called himself a Siddha. And Angelo thought the guy was bullshitting at first. He's like, bro, you're a fucking capper. Yeah, scam me. And this guy wakes up, has no recollection of what happens. And so he's like, okay, fuck, like this guy's or an amazing actor, or there's something weird here that I have to investigate and understand what the fuck was going on there. So he brings him on, and they end up spending 2 years together. And he writes down like all the conversations. Like then there's like the videos and stuff that he would show at his conventions, but I couldn't find the videos. But he would show them at the conventions he would go to. But like he wrote all the conversations down. This guy was talking about crazy shit, bro. Like crazy shit. Talked about the deluge, talked about like inner earth, talked about like what happens after death, like all these different circles, and you kind of get to choose when you want to come back and how you want to do it. And there is a place where you receive this oneness, and you just get to this, like it's like the upper level of everything, where you're part of everything and anything at the same time. And that's where you can kind of just spend the rest of the rest. But
oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man, I gotta read that, yo.
Yeah, it was really interesting. This guy's called Angelo Bona. It's an Italian. It's just a really like he's the guy's like he's renowned for like his abilities to be this like medic or whatnot. And then he's got into it, and he was like, bro, this changed my life because I did not believe in any of this shit, and now I have this guy telling me these things. And he was like speaking a different language in some of the things, like language,
like an ancient language,
like ancient language that's like a dead language. He's like, what the fuck are you saying? And then he got like professionals to come in, like, this is what he's speaking. This guy had no way that he could have learned that shit unless he was, like, as I said, like one of the biggest con mans that exist. Like,
you had to dedicate years of studying that
just to do that one thing, to fuck up with that one guy. I was like, believable, but not really. But
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I gotta check that out, man.
Let's send each other these links after, bro.
Yeah, man, send me everything.
I'll send you the links, and then I'm gonna put them on the descriptions of the YouTube, so people can kind of.
Oh yeah.
Like, what the fuck are these guys talking about? But I love it. It's good. I love having these conversations, bro, because that's exactly what I want these interviews to be like. Like it's like, bro, I didn't know you at all. Now you're my bro.
Yeah, exactly.
In LA, bro, like.
Exactly, man.
Fun to chill. So that's
this is dope.
Yeah. I mean, bro, the thing is, I'm gonna die because I have like an hour of editing that I'm gonna have to do. So like, I'm gonna die, but I'll do it with a lot of pleasure. So, do you have speaking about pieces? Do you have pieces that you could auction off?
Yeah, so I have pieces. Then I'm working on the piece that you was like you told me just specifically for this.
Yeah.
But I also still have those the Godzilla pieces,
Okay.
the
Send me
menagerie
what you
stuff.
have, because I think what could be cool to do it kind of curated for this specific page is like doing something that's like not necessarily something that we can buy on your, like something that,
Yeah,
like there's like a cool piece that I make, like the generic pieces that you make, but then there's something that's
yeah,
like that piece is
yeah,
understood.
exactly. So like the three that I think I sent you,
Mhm.
they were never on the website. I was actually waiting to auction them off.
Oh,
So
really? Okay.
yeah, I've had these pieces for like I want to say 2 years now.
Okay. Fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
so
Then we
the
can
age of
I think
perfection.
that we can do. We don't have to necessarily just do one. We can do more than one. Like it's kind of nice when there's like more options for sizes
Yeah,
and stuff like that. So it doesn't have to only be one piece auctions,
all right,
but as
cool.
soon as you kind of have that piece going, and I don't know how long did it take you to finish a piece like that?
Honestly, if I work like I said, I do this all day pretty much. So it should take like about I should be finishing like 8 hours.
Okay, so you can
Yeah,
finish it by today.
yeah, I should be able to finish. Well, tonight.
Tonight, yeah,
Should be
yeah,
finished
that's
tonight.
that, but whatever. I don't need, but like, okay, perfect, bro. So, are you down to be auctioning off on Monday?
Yeah, we can auction Monday. Yeah,
Yeah, beautiful.
yeah, that's more
So
than enough time.
beautiful. So all I need is I'm gonna send you like a little thing that I ask like for like your bio, your name, the sizes, the fabric, and all that stuff. Once you have the pictures, you can send them to me too. I'll send you my email so we can have it like that. And what else I wanted to ask for? Yeah, and the way that I do it, but like I usually I use you like I have you as a collaborator when I make the post, so it kind of shows
Yeah,
up on your feed as well. Um, and so that kind of creates better traction for kind of my people to go to your page and your people to come to my page
yeah.
and yeah, it's really important. Like I take no commissions on the sales because I really do this out of love. I will
Yeah.
have to start doing it soon though, I'm not gonna lie, bro. You probably one of the last people that I'm gonna do it for free, but because
No,
bro,
you should take the commission, man.
I don't even know, but I just feel I'm like, dude, I do it for artists because I'm like, bro, this shit's a tough world, bro. And I'm here. The things
Yeah,
I do
no,
a
yeah.
lot of work into this shit too. So I should. And I just suck. Dude. I suck. I went to business school, but I suck at business, bro. So I could never ask someone to quit horrible. I usually do it like on tips. I'm like, if you whatever on this sale, whatever you want to send back, you do you, and it's kind of we do it like
Yeah,
that.
no, like this is gonna be the first one you get commission off of.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
but
let's
anyway,
do it like that.
I'm gonna send you, then you can kind of decide whatever you want to do as tips. Like that's how I do it for now. And then eventually
Okay.
I'm gonna set a standard and be like, okay, 10, 15%, whatever.
Yeah.
The things that sell. Yeah, so I'm gonna send you all that stuff. What's really important, bro, I think for it to make it work the best is usually when artists tend to promote it like pre-hand,
Yeah,
like
definitely.
like, oh, this is happening this day. So people kind of look forward to it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it, bro.
Yeah, that works. Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
It
I
was
had
a
a blast.
pleasure.
This was fun.
Oh yeah, we gotta do this again sometime,
Yeah,
man.
I'm done. Yeah, I want to do. I'm gonna start doing them. I want to start doing them live on Twitch. Like as soon as I get a kind of
That'd be
big
dope.
following, I'm gonna
Yeah.
start doing live on Twitch so people can kind of interact and be like, "What are these bozos talking about?" Yeah, like fucking. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the move right there, man. That's a good idea.
I have to get on that, but like I don't have enough following. I don't want it to just go on Twitch as just like one person. It's like
Oh, yeah.
I need to get to a level where it's a little bit more, but slowly but surely, we're getting there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Hey, thank you so much for your time, my friend.
Oh,
It was
thank
a
you,
real
man. We
pleasure.
gotta do this again, man. My
Absolutely.
pleasure, yo.
If you ever come to LA, man, be my guest, bro. I'd love
Oh
that.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
like
definitely.
in Atlanta too, if I ever pull up, I'll let you know.
I got a question. Oh yeah, definitely, man. We hit me up. We can chop it up.
Sure.
You know Aki, right?
Yeah, yeah, I lived with Aki, bro. I was
Oh
living.
really?
Yeah, I lived.
Man, tell him his stuff is fire, yo.
Yeah, yeah, he's talented. He's talented.
Yeah, he's
The
dope.
Padawan, young Padawan.
Yeah.
No, he's got good shit. I have paintings all over Aki. Oh, right
Oh,
there.
that's dope.
There's another one right
Yeah,
here.
you got some pieces.
Yeah, I got so much art in my house, bro. Like this is like I don't know if you know Little Black Goat.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, that's a good piece.
Is that a print or that's
No,
the actual?
that's the original. It's another Aki piece
Fire.
because I'm a Scorpio.
That's dope.
It's not, it's an original.
That's fire.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. And there's this shit right here, bro. Like DMX painted.
But that's dope, man. That's I thought that was the actual
No,
album
dude, this
cover, yo.
is painted with oil, bro. It's actually really sick.
That's crazy.
Man went wild. And I'm gonna keep showing you some shit. This is a jacket that I made. These are my rugs. These are some other ones I made.
That's dope. Oh, those are like the what do you call them?
Call them baby faces. Little faces that are like kind of squished in together.
You know that reminds me of like the Olmec.
The what?
Is that
Oh, the Omex. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, that's dope.
And there's this one guy here. His name is Agent Kaufman.
That's hard right there, man.
There's another
Like
guy, slim face. He does this shit here.
That's dope.
Piece. And then this is it's a guy in New York. His name is Kill Kaiser.
Oh yeah, that's fire.
And then dude, this you were talking about Lord of the Rings, bro. Look what I bought, bro. This is have you ever seen the series the animated series of Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
The Rolf
What'd you say?
The Rolf Bakshi. There's like an animated series that they made in the 19.
Yeah, no, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But this is like an original fucking drawing from the first scene. You know when the first scene is like,
is that charcoal?
No, it's pencil.
Pencil. Man, that's fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I know exactly where it's from.
It's from the opening scene when they're showing all the seasons. James.
That's dope, man.
That's all.
Shading on that is impeccable.
Bro, I've been saving money and all I'm doing is fucking spending it on art, bro. Which is because there's no way I can be like now I'm dead broke right now, bro. Like my car goes, I got no money. I just got
man, that's the way to spend it.
It's true. No, I'm here because bro, it brings me so much joy, bro. Like I keep staring at this shit no matter where I go. So I like
it. And then you find something new about it every time you look at it.
Exactly. And it inspires me. It inspires me too to start doing better and kind of creating more shit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you, dog. And let's keep in touch and I'll hit you up. I'll hit you up probably like tomorrow with like all the questions and everything, and then you get back to me with that and we do it on Monday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. Thanks. I appreciate you, man.
Beautiful, my friend. Take care.
You as well. Thanks.
Bye.